This is our 5th tour, and this is the Out of Control tour. We started off last year flying in, and this year we wanted to do something completely different, so we went for the kind of old Hollywood, kind of really glamorous opening.
The opening of the show involves all 5 of us coming up on a hydraulic lift, but it's literally about that wide, and it just keeps going and going.
I think it's going to stop at stage level, and it just keeps rising and rising and rising.
And we've got like tiny little platforms to stand on.
And tiny little seat belts, just like an ordinary car seat belt holding you in, so you don't feel very safe.
And the higher you get, the more it rocks. Like you're scared to even move your legs.
It's pretty hard to do choreography when you're up there.
But please, how are you all doing the movements and stuff? Because I'm thinking this is awful, and then I look at you and you're like,
I couldn't have done it at the highest level, but now we bring it down.
It's better.
It's bearable, because I've got this thing, if I can jump, then I'm alright, but the height that it goes to, there's no jumping.
No, that's just instant death. It's scary. It's really scary.
knee trembling, eyes watering, petrification, scary.
Basically, each year we try and find an opening that's more scary than the last.
But no one really takes
But
into
nobody
account
takes
my
Nicholas.
scared of heights issue. So I'm forced to do it, basically.
She's absolutely terrified. We've had hypnotists here. We've tried literally everything to get her up there. So the opening of the show all rides on if Nicola can cope in this dress run.
I have to do it, I have to do it.
About being in a band, because us 4 can't do it.
I would
Nicola's got a
say
fear.
3.
I didn't realise I was in a band with such daredevils until we started this tour. And they're all up and they're jumping around, and I'm looking at them like afraid to move, and they're laughing and having a great time. And
This is the biggest production we've ever done on tour, because we believe as a band that we should get bigger and better with each year that we tour, and last year was pretty full on. We flew in from the ceiling on zip wires, and we had to top it somehow this year, so there's a lot going on. Not only do we go and nearly touch the roof at the opening, we also fly over on a Perspex platform box.
the swing that we're on actually swings if you move too much on it.
That I don't enjoy very much. So we're singing Call the Shots and we're going, just because you're amazing, and then everyone starts tapping and we're like,
I said that so
oh no.
backwards, and they all laughed at me like I was some sort of strange
I'd rather
person.
face the way I'm travelling. Going backwards is a whole different kettle of fish.
We don't
There's
make
no
it easy.
point in making it easy for yourself. We have to make it enjoyable for the crowd, and that means putting ourselves through quite a lot, especially in Nicola's case. So we like to put on a good show for our fans.
We always tend to kind of section the show off. You know, like when we do the set list, we pick songs that kind of go together, and we pick a theme for each section. So like the opening sections, the 60s vibe with the promise, and we've got a longer version of this dress, like a skirt that goes on underneath, and then we whip that off for the rest of the first section. The second section is, it's just quite slick, really, isn't it? Like tuxedo, playsuit things, just quite sort of bringing it down a bit from the Vegas.
Razzle dazzle.
Yeah. The third section is dark.
It's my favourite section. That's with the platform.
Flying across the arena.
And we have all the
section.
wind, where we're sitting now is where we have all the wind and the smoke, and it's really, it's a really atmospheric kind of part of the show.
It's a sort of
Which I think the older people, I think the kids might get a little bit scared at that bit, but it's a bit creepy, you know, it is a definitely
It's
more
a little
creepy
bit
element
like,
to it. But
it's the outfits are really like another word, like the Untouchable video.
yeah.
That whole kind of
Otherworldly.
thing.
and we open it with Untouchable, so you can see where that came from.
And we have a folk section where we're a bit more street. We dance a bit more street.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
got hoodies on.
Ghetto.
And that's for songs like Revolution in the Head from the album, which is a bit more, got a bit more of a kick. Sound of the underground.
Harder, isn't it? A lot harder.
Yeah.
And then the fifth section is
It's more showgirly.
all our hits. It's like a kind of like a combination, not all of our hits, but of hits that worked well together that we couldn't include on the show or would have been on there all night long. But when you mega mix, condense them down and just done, you know, nice interludes from one to the next.
Yeah.
It's like a party.
It's good for the fans as well. It's a good way to end the show. There is a lot.
The best choreographer in the world, and she's put together every single aspect of this show from the start to the end, and it is full on party, have fun, enjoy the show, and just don't miss a trick, basically, because we're up and down, round and round, up ramps, down, man traps, up to the ceiling.
And basically,
across.
like Girls Aloud again, it's one of those things like where we're enjoying ourselves on the stage, and it's like a night out. People can come, enjoy the song, see the spectacle, and just have a laugh, really.
Yeah, I mean, it just because then we have the space. When we play in big arenas, we have more space to use, so we can do things like fly across the room, or you know. And I think that when people want to watch it, well, I know that for me, when I go to watch a show, we don't just stand and sing. We like to put on a show, and I think that the smaller venues are nice and intimate and lovely, but the bigger venues, people can come and actually be like, whoa, what's going on there? And I think,
nice to be in that crowd atmosphere, and everyone's enjoying themselves, and you can get everyone going. We always have a fantastic crowd at our tours, and it's just an amazing thing to do for us as a band as well. We've played the theatres now, and we love them, but this is like the best thing you can do. It's really hard actually to pick a set list for us now, because we've released 21 songs now. So as much as we'd like to do them all, and we know that, you know, some hardcore fans would like us to do them all, we can't physically do it.
And
So
we've done
need
our
to-
greatest hits tour.
Not long ago.
And this
So-
is the Out of Control tour, so we've tried to include as many of the album tracks, because, you know, we know that they'll be waiting to hear some of them, and we don't want to disappoint them, so we want to do as many as we can.
So we tend to keep it along the same vein of, you know, the ones we know they want to hear. We keep up to date with what they're liking on the forums and stuff like that, so it's all good, we hope.
There's a crew of so many people too, and everybody has their specific jobs, and
It's
we
nice.
just are one aspect of where the whole show works.
But it's also good because you're getting to know. You're also getting to know the team that you're working with as well. So when you're on the road for about a month or 2 months or whatever we're going to be on the road for, it's nice because you kind of start forming a bit of a bond with everyone.
A lot of people we're working with on this tour we've worked with before. It's nice to have a bit of familiarity.
Hey, thanks! Say hello! What you doing here? Why are you so early? This is not the case.
It's like far longer than a year, but then as soon as you're back into it after a day, you remember what their men under the lift are like. You remember the aftershave they wear. You know, everything just seems to slot back into place like you were never gone.
This is the girls' dressing room. Oh, look who was got here. Miss Robin!